Okay, maybe your husband wants to leave for a while or wants to go away or has to know what other ladies are like or has to feel other things. That's all right, but they'll come back. And when they come back, they're stronger and they're more aware of all the good things that you've been there providing for them all along. If you're totally perfect all the time, then you get boring. And I'll never be boring. If you can be a little bit jumbled and jivey and crazy there, I think that's kind of good too. And if you kind of have a little zap and a little zim and a little fight and a little yuckiness in there, that's okay too.
Now, Kathy has changed physically. You're changing mentally. She became more beautiful. You've become more serene. So what's going wrong?
There's nothing really that's going wrong. It's a question of transition. Let's say it's retooling. It's really a retooling of a relationship. Let me sum it up. I think the ideal relationship between a man and a woman is one in which you're protected like a child and feel as secure as a child, but treated like an adult. Now that's difficult to come by. Everybody likes the warmth of the hearth, and yet everybody likes to feel that if they wanted to, they could just run through the open meadow.
I sometimes wish that he might drink a little bit or smoke a little grass or do a little something with me sometimes, but...
You don't ever feel you want to escape and shake him up a bit?
Yeah, I have that feeling, but see, I can do that because he can come home one night and I can just not be all so totally so super glad to see him. And then he can wonder, I wonder what she did today, or I wonder this, or I wonder that. Or the same with me. I can wonder what really is happening every day of his life over there.
You just want to shake the bars a bit, yeah?
Yeah, but I don't think that's so bad. That's just part of life. That's part of being a real person.
See, Kathy once said to me, he'll never have to divorce me because he can always change me.
Yes, she said that to me too. But that's not true, because I can't change her. I can change her physically, but only she can change herself.
So how would you feel if your husband did walk out on you?
I think I would be devastated. Terribly devastated. I wouldn't like it at all. But I would also, on the other hand, know that now, because of the feelings that I have about myself, and because of where I am now in my lifetime, and because of the psychology that I've encountered, and because of the feelings that I'm experiencing every day in my world now, I could make it also.
She has to change herself. Right now, I would say that if I even attempt to change her, there's a tremendous amount of resistance.
Do you want to stay married to Kathy?
At this particular juncture, I have no desire not to be married to Kathy or anybody else. Right today, I have no desire not to be married.
I mean, you once told me, I remember, that you'd just as soon be married to her mother.
Yes, that's true. Her mother has a characteristic now that I perceive as being desirable in a male-female relationship.
Which is?
Not getting so much flack about things that I do or not do.
Your mother, who I met 6 years ago,
yes,
seems to be something like a referee in your marriage. Is she still holding that role?
She is. She idolizes my husband, and sometimes I get very angry because when we have arguments, she takes his side. I feel she should be taking my side.
Kathy has to change and has to, perhaps for her own well-being, as I perceive it, after all, I know her as well as anybody, I imagine, perhaps has to go a little deeper into herself and come to grips with certain things, both in her present and her past, that she's probably refused to deal with. But she may and she may not. And I'll have to think about those things as they come up and as they annoy me or don't annoy me.
How would you fare without Kathy?
I must tell you that I feel that I'm relatively self-sufficient. And the trouble with my life, until recently, was I was always looking for my good friend outside of me. But my good friend is me. I'm my own best friend. And you want to know something? That makes my life worthwhile.
This has got something to do with self-satisfaction?
I would think so.
If I could say what's real, I'd be getting a divorce tomorrow because I hate this man I'm living with. God damn it, he's a goddamn pain in the ass. Thinks he's Dr. God. Breaks my nails, disco dancing with me. I'm a much better roller skater than he is, but God forbid I should let him know that.
And in Wicker's World next Wednesday night at 9, ever thought of going to live in California?